The Braves and Mets series was wild. The Atlanta Braves sweep the New York Mets out of Atlanta. The division is now in their grasp. The NL East is all but over. All the Atlanta Braves need to do is now win one game against the Marlins, and the division is theirs. They are now 2 games up. We went into that series with the Mets having a 1-game lead in the division. The Braves sweep them out of town and now have a 2-game lead. This was a fiasco for the Mets when they had their rotation lined up perfectly, exactly how they wanted it. They had DeGrom, they had Scherzer, they had Bassett, they had their big 3 lined up to go, and it did not go well. So the Atlanta Braves have, look, I'm willing to say it, I'm willing to call it. The Atlanta Braves are going to win the NL East. So let's take a look at what this updated playoff bracket now looks like with the Braves holding down the 2 seed. The winner of the NL East could not be understated. This was huge. You might think, okay, well, they're both in the playoffs. Like, is it really that important? With this new playoff structure, yes. Yes, it is. The 2 seed will get a bye in that first round. So as it sits now, the Atlanta Braves will have a bye. The New York Mets will be the 4 seed and will have to play the 5 seed in the wild card round. Okay, so they'll most likely be playing the Padres. Let's say the Mets go on to win that. This is why this loss in the series was so huge. Getting swept was so huge because it now puts them in that wild card round where, guess what? They're going to have to throw DeGrom. They're going to have to throw Scherzer. Now you're going to have to use your best 2 bullets in that first round. So let's say they end up going on to win that series. Your reward is facing the Dodgers. And guess what you don't have? You don't have DeGrom and you don't have Scherzer for those first 2 games of the series. So this was a fiasco of a series for the Mets. They really just needed to win that Sunday game. It's never a good thing when you get that punch in the face. DeGrom and Scherzer game 1 and 2 and you lose. But they needed to win that Sunday game. If the Mets had won Sunday, they would have controlled their own destiny. They would have been tied in the division while holding the tiebreaker. But no, they lose. They're now 2 games back. They do not control their own destiny, and it does not look good. But imagine them winning Sunday, controlling your own destiny, heading into a series against the Washington Nationals. Man, what a series. What a disappointment for the Mets. What a great series for the Atlanta Braves. And we have to shout out Dansby Swanson here. Dansby Swanson homered in game 1 of the series Friday night against Jacob DeGrom. He homered in game 2 against Max Scherzer. And he homered in game 3 against Chris Bassett. You throw out their 3 studs, and Dansby hits a homer off of all of them. And the Braves may well have not won or swept this series without him. So what a mind-blowing, incredible series for the Braves.
If you're the Braves, you got to be riding so high right now. We've been saying it for months that their season was going to come down to this series. This series was going to determine who was going to take the NL East. Now, they not only now have the lead on a team that they have been looking up at the entire
all
season,
year.
Except for like a day or 2.
There was one night, I think.
Yeah, one night. But then they took down arguably 2 of the best pitchers, which I think everybody was convinced that's the reason the Mets would win with DeGrom and Scherzer. They not only took them down, they hit home runs off of them. They won this. They swept this series. The champs looked like the champs, and that's good news for nobody except for them.
Who is their offense fearing now? Think of the confidence this gives you. There is nobody that you will face in the playoffs on the National League side that is going to be better than DeGrom and Scherzer. Their offense is riding on a high. Yeah. They fear nobody. They are ready. On the pitching side of things, there can still be some, we have to face this team. We have to face the Dodgers. That's quite the offense. the Braves offense isn't concerned about anybody right now. And confidence in baseball, I talk about it a lot, and I talk about it with a lot of the guests we have. Confidence in baseball is so vital.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just baseball is such a mental game.
Yep.
When you're not on a high, you can be on a very low low. This Braves offense, because of sweeping the Mets and because of beating those two horses that the Mets have, you're right. They're riding on a high, and the Braves just swept them on out of town.
Oh, yeah. And you got to feel pretty good. Kenley Jansen had a couple of huge saves as well. Like you got to feel good at the plate late in games. I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I. My pick to click was that the Mets were going to take the series. They were going to win the NL East. I admit it. But, like, this is what you want to see. You want to see it in dramatic fashion. And sweeping the team in front of you that you've been looking at and chasing at all season, it doesn't get much better than that.
More like a pick to stink.
Oh, stop it.
But you mentioned Kenley Jansen. I have to acknowledge Raisel Iglesias, who was a midseason pickup. The trade deadline, he moves over to the Braves, and in that 8th inning spot, he has been thriving. What a dominant guy he has been in that 8th inning. In 24 1/3 innings with the Atlanta Braves, he has given up 1 run.
Whew.
Are you kidding me? Remarkable, absolutely incredible. And this series as a whole for the Atlanta Braves was this won them the NL East.
Mind-changing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves for sweeping the Mets out of town in what was the biggest series of the season to date. No doubt about that. The Braves sweep. They win the series, and in my opinion, they just won the NL East.